Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce tonight's act, from Stars in Their Eyes, Mr. Matthew Kelly.
He is the creator of the most successful British comedy of all time. He is Hollywood's hottest brick with shows on 3 American networks and more appearances on Letterman than any other comedian. He holds the world record for internet downloads. He has sold 5 million DVDs worldwide and is the only British performer to write and star in The Simpsons. He has won an Emmy, 2 Golden Globes and 6 BAFTAs, and now has the fastest-selling live tour in history. So who are you going to be for us tonight?
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Ricky Gervais.
So now, live and dangerous, Mr. Midas himself.
She didn't think I was that great, and she should know. She's worked with the Chuckle Brothers. So it's like a dagger to the heart when a comedy icon like her slags you off, do you know what I mean? Particularly if she looks so like Sid Little in drag. I was worried about these gigs, you know. I thought, oh, God, I'm coming to London. And yet the first day, the reviews were great. And one paper said, the most talked about comedian of the decade. And I thought, wow. I was flat. I thought, most talked about comedian of the decade. I was thinking, that can't be true. I was thinking, no, I'm the second most talked about comedian of the decade. If they ever find a dead bloke in my pool with a chair leg up his arse, I might... Until then, I'm happy with the number 2 slot. Not a euphemism. But I started and ended the regional tour in Scotland. The first gig I did back in January was Glasgow, and I had Glasgow so wound up about Edinburgh being the capital, I shouldn't have brought it up, that they wanted to come and storm the castle. They wanted to get in their cars and go and storm the castle, old-fashioned style, you know what I mean? Like Frankenstein's monster. Ooh, get him out, ooh. I always think of Frankenstein's monster like the 19th century equivalent of the local paedophile. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember that name and shame campaign the tabloids did a few years ago, where they showed pictures of all the paedophiles they knew, and they go, there's one near you, and people go, yeah, there's one near me, yeah. Everyone's a paedophile. There's a bloke in the park, he's the park keeper, he's a paedophile. To such an extent that in Portsmouth, an angry mob burnt down the house of a paediatrician. And they said, well, he had a plaque outside. Huh? Do paedophiles have brass plaques, mate? Kiddie Fiddler, established 1979. My friend said, oh, you shouldn't start the tour in Scotland. They hate the English. I went, that's a cliche. He went, no, it's true. Also, it's true that all Scottish people are just alcoholics. I went, bollocks. Loads of them are smackheads as well now. You've been fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I flew a few weeks after 9/11, and after 9/11, the world went a little bit crazy. You know, understandably, the rules changed, and there was a lot of anger and fear and confusion and finger pointing. And I'd always consider myself quite a rational, liberal sort of guy, and I tried to remain that way after 9/11, and even in like in the pub with mates, I'd be the ones going, no, you can't say that. No, that's a generalisation. That's ridiculous. No, that's unfair. You can't tar everyone with the same brush. No, it's still the safest form of transport. It's 16 million to 1, the chance of trying to be rational. That's in a pub. When I'm flying, it's more like, check him again. Can we check him again? He's getting on this, but do you mind if I check him? Can I just... And after 9/11, with all the checks, I still tried to remain sort of rational and philosophical. I was thinking, right, it's harder now than it ever was to get a bomb on the plane. This is, the restrictions are tight. It's safer now. And then I found out that a terrorist doesn't even have to get on the plane now with a bomb. They found heat-seeking missiles, and they could just park up in some sort of lay-by and take the plane out within the first 10 minutes of takeoff. So now I'd be on the plane going, right, we're out of range. Who's got the bomb, right? And, as I say, I flew a couple of weeks after 9/11, internal... We'd just be on the news. I'd probably be the only one get name-checked on the news. You'd be 230 others, but which is some consolation. But anyway, so, okay. Once I was flying back from New York, okay, 9:25, a Saturday night, JFK to London Heathrow. BA, first class. Okay. Now, this is my point. It's fear that threatens rational thought, I think, okay? I'm there. Now, the whole week leading up to that flight, I don't know if you remember it, or it's happened more than once, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago, on every news channel in America, there was a rolling ticker tape that said, America on red alert. We've had intel, there's going to be another 9/11 in a major city, probably New York or LA, okay, this weekend. Do not fly unless you absolutely had to, right? I had to, I was filming. And, right. So, I'm the only one in the first class lounge, okay? And I still tried to remain rational. I was thinking, no, it's safer now. Everyone's looking for a terrorist today. They'll leave it till Monday, right? And then it happened. The thing that threatened my rational thought. I had a bit of a mini breakdown. Into the first class lounge, about 30 minutes before boarding, came this guy. I don't know whether he was North African or Middle Eastern or Asian, but he had all the gear, right? Beard, steered attaché case, okay? And here's your middle-class sort of liberal. I went... I was suddenly engaging staff in sort of banal conversation, going, flight on time? They're going, yeah. What's the weather like in London? Like they were going to go, it's a bit cloudy, but there he is, right? Didn't happen. So I'm left there, right? And I'm looking over at him, and I'm thinking of all the running up to it and the week, all the news and everything. But now there's a fight between good and evil, between rational and irrational, okay? This one goes, ooh, that's a suicide bomber. Oh, don't be stupid. Of course it isn't. It is. How do you know? That's what they look like. What? Beard. Don't be stupid, right? Then he makes a phone call, and I couldn't understand what he was saying, but he sounded a bit angry, okay? This one goes, oh, we made a phone call, right? This one, no, you just made a phone call. Yeah, but not in foreign. Right? Well, shut up, right? He's been checked, like the rest of us have been checked. Did they check the beard? Yeah, they checked the beard. Yeah, they checked the beard, right? And then I'm looking at him, must have been absent-minded with all this going on in my head, and he catches me looking, and he does this. He goes, oh, he knows, right? This one goes, no, he knows why you're looking at him. He's had that sort of prejudice for months now. Stop looking at him. The beard. Yeah, right? But this one starts winning. The fear starts beating all the rational thought in the world. And he was going, no, but it could be. Well, yeah, it could be. Probably not. Well, no. The stats are up today. Yeah, but still, it won't happen. Don't say it won't happen to us. People of 9/11 said it wouldn't happen to them. Yeah, but all the tests, yeah, well, they find new ways of getting through our detection, then we have to up again. Yeah, you're right. And suddenly I thought, oh my God, this is it. This is it. And that wave of nausea, and you suddenly realise, oh my God, I'm witnessing this. This one goes, okay, right, let's report him. This one goes, no. Why? In case someone thinks we're racist. No, fuck that. Let's report him and be a wrong, embarrassed, live racist, just in case, right? And I go, no, so I don't. And so now I think he is a suicide bomber, and I think I'm going to get on the plane and die, but I'm not going to do anything about it. And I'm nearly in tears. And all this happens in a few moments. And I look over, and he's joined by his wife, who's got all the gear, and his two little girls, okay? And I suddenly go, oh, of course he's not a fucking suicide bomber. If you're off to see 72 virgins, you don't take the wife and kids along. Right? Why did the little girl fall off the swing? Because she had no arms. Yeah, right? I'll leave you with one final story, right? It's another true story. If I say they're true, by the way, they are. I promise, they're all true. And this is probably my favourite school story ever. It was 1976 again, so I was about 14. And we had a kid in our class called Gary Masterman. And Gary developed Tourette's syndrome, like every sentence of the swear word, and he had a tic, because we learned all about it in assembly. Gary was up there, all the teachers knew him, all the kids knew him. He was a popular lad, right? And, yeah, nice guy, Gary Masterman. But sometimes his tics seemed relevant. And I'll never forget, we were having this lesson with a young female teacher called Miss Wilkie. She was at the blackboard, and she was doing those calling out suggestions. I can't remember what it was about, but she'd go, Simon, what do you think? Yeah, that's good. Yes, that works, yeah. Brian, what do you... Yeah, good, yeah. And she went, Gary. He went, I'll finger you, miss. And she just went, anyone else? And she pointed to Sean Dixon, and Sean went, yeah, I'll finger you. Try and explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food allergies. Did anyone have a pedo teacher when they were at school? Yes, yeah. Round of applause for pedo teachers, yeah. That's another thing. I think where people are now trying to be so politically correct, they're trying to out-woke each other. Soon someone's going to say, you can't say pedo anymore. It's a derogatory term. It offends people who are child addicted, right? So you're going to have people going to the doctor going, Doctor, I think I'm child addicted, right? And doctor go, oh, you poor thing. How do you feel? I feel like I want to fiddle with kids. That is one of the symptoms. don't worry, sit down. We'll get you into a facility at taxpayer's expense, right? And we'll wean you off children. How does that work, doctor? Well, you know, like when they give heroin addicts methadone, yeah? Well, we're going to start you on dwarves, right? It might work. It might. My mum, she was the salt of the earth, but she just said what she wanted, right? And she'd do anything for you, but she reserved the right to moan about it. So, growing up, right, our next-door neighbour, Mrs. Dawson, she was about 25 years older than my mum. So when my mum was 60, this old lady was already like 85, 86, and my mum was the last living witness to her existence. She lives alone, and my mum did everything for her. Right? She went shopping for her, she did the housework, she went round, made her lunch and sat with her for a while, she went back, made her tea, and this went on and on. I remember calling home once, my mum was like 70, and I went, oh, I called earlier, you were out. And my mum went, yeah, I was running Dawson's. And I went, oh, how is she? And my mum went, oh, she just won't die, Rick. I was on a plane last year, okay, going from New York to LA, okay, and me and my girlfriend were one side of the plane, there was the aisle, and the other side there were these two huge fat women, okay, proper fat. One of them just got on and went, can I have a belt extension? Yeah, of course you can, you've earned it, right? So, proper. In fact, I was thinking of calling the pilot out and going, should one of us swap with one of them? Otherwise, we're just going to Canada. Do you know what I mean? And one of them was even fatter than the other one, okay? And she was there, and she'd got on the plane with one of those takeaway buckets of fast food. Bucket! I mean, there's your first clue. When did that happen? When did fat people just give up? When did they go into a shop and go, oh, fuck it, just treat me like a farmyard animal? Really? Give me it in a bucket. In fact, just strap it to my fucking head and I'll just... A bucket? Really? You want your meal in a bucket? Yes. Right? So, she's there and she's chowing down, right? And I swear, she turns to her fat friend and says, this is the best fried chicken I've had all day. But one thing that isn't ambiguous, whether it's nature or nurture, is racism, right? No one's born racist. You've got to learn that shit, okay? And, again, I don't want to divide the room. I'm not a fan of racism. No, hear me out. I don't care whether you're black, white, brown, European, African... You're all going, yeah, that's all right, Rick. Black, white, brown, European, African. What about the fucking Eskimos? Racist, right? They're fucking weird, Rick. They are not weird. They're just different. They live in the snow. Yeah, that is their little house, the snow. So, right? Yeah, they wear a dead sea lion for their clothes. Yes, that's their clothes, the dead sea lion, right? But here's the thing about racism, right? You drag one out of his little hole in the snow and peel him out of his sea lion outfit, right? And he's standing there naked. You take a closer look, he's basically a cold Chinaman. I told this joke. Made sure the old people couldn't hear, like that. I went, OK. Father, sitting at home, just reading the newspaper. This little girl comes running in. She's only 6. Hello, darling. Hello, Daddy. You've been playing? Yeah. In the park? Yeah. With your friends? Well, until the man came along. Till the man came along? Yeah, a man came along and he asked my friends to leave, so it was just me and him. Darling, come over. Whatever happened, none of it was your fault, OK, darling? None of it was your fault. But tell Daddy every detail. What happened? He took me behind a tree so no one could see what we were doing. Oh, God, darling, and then what happened? He took my dress off. Oh, God, what happened next? What happened? He took his thing out. Oh, God, darling, and then what happened? Nothing, that was it. Oh, well, make something up. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, a big, famous man with a huge... I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big... But I've learnt my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago, when, she was a man... that was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, "Come in." This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone. Do you know? So, come in, and he went, "Hello, Bruce Jenner," because that was his name then. The doctor, this was years ago, and the doctor went, "Oh, I'm Bruce Jenner. You big old. How you doing, boy? You fucker. How you doing? You big old lump. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, not too bad, doctor, not too bad, right? And I went, "What can I do for you, Bruce?" "You fucker. How you doing, boy?" And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name. Bruce Jenner went, "Look at that." And they went, "Oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules." He uses his whole name every time for some reason. I don't know why. "Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, And Bruce Jenner went, "No, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis." And I thought, "Oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside." And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, "No, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit," right? And the doctor went, "Oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke." "Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. That bit familiar, isn't it?" And I go, "No, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce." Bruce Jenner went, "Oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them." And the doctor went, "What? Why?" "Ah, they get in the way." "Get in the way of what?" "Fucking driving, for one thing." Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, we're in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, "Oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke." She went, "Oh, what?" I said, "What did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas?" And Jane went, "I don't know." I said, "Cancer." I didn't do it. So you're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist. So I'd never say that in public. So to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't... As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, "It was transphobic." It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... it's live, so they go, "And now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais." They go on, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, "Relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed." Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had. Became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlete. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge... I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he probably... He's a big... But I've learnt my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago... when, you know, she was a man. That was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I'm saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone... Do you know what So, like, come in. And he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went... Oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lunt. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So, Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? And I said, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name, Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name, for 58 years, I think. He went, No, they're not my shot put stop. They're my enormous testicles. That's where I get my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I am a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar. And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce should have went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. So I'm engaging these people, and I'm saying, but I had to say her old name because that gets me into the joke. I say, I've changed, not as much as Bruce Jenner, and then I do the actual joke. I went, no, this is my second crime. I say, she hasn't changed, right? She's always been a woman because she's always identified as a woman, and that means she's a woman. Fine, if that's the rules, you are what you feel. If you feel you're a woman, that makes you a woman. Cool. You know, I'm not one of these bigots that think having all that done is science going too far. You know? In fact, I don't think it's going far enough. Because I've always identified as a chimp, right? Well, I am a chimp. If I say I'm a chimp, I am a chimp, you know. Pre-op, but... and don't ever dead name me. Don't ever call me Ricky Gervais again. From now on, you call me Bobo. So, I'm going to have species realignment. I'm halfway there, to be honest. I'm sort of short, with short legs and long arms. I sort of stoop like that. My back's getting hairier by the day. I've got fangs. I love nuts. Oh, I love nuts. And once, I was at the zoo, and I could tell people were looking at me, so I just started masturbating. So, I am a chimp, right? I am a chimp, if I say I'm a chimp. And so, I've got to live as a chimp for a year, then have hormones, get me all nice and hairy. That'd be lovely, right? I'm going to stay a male chimp, so I can keep all that, right? A male, heterosexual chimp, keep the same girlfriend. Jane will be happy. She loves me. She loves chimps, so, you know. And I reckon that's got to be easier for a man to turn into a chimp. We're so close. Than for a man to turn into a woman in many ways. You know what I mean? A bit of hair and a top lip like that, as opposed to your cock and balls ripped off and a hole gouged out into... No, I'm not a doctor, but that is the gist of it. I know which one I'd rather have done. And I'm not saying I think chimps are better than women. No way. Right? Any ladies here, right? I can't see you, but to me, every single one of you is equal to a chimp. So I'm gonna have all that done. So hair with that, right? I'll do all that. I'll do all the. I'll retain the ability to speak English, like in emergencies. If I'm talking to Jane, I'm going. She's going. What is it, Bo? Going, what is it, Bo? You left the fucking oven on. There's a fire. What, are you telling me that if Caitlyn Jenner was being chased by a wolf, right, and there was a big fence, but she had a long pole, she'd revert, she'd be over that fucking easy. And my girlfriend of over 30 years, Jane, although she hasn't really contributed to my career. No, I'm saying this is sort of all me. In fact, thinking about it, she has done fuck all.
Hello, Tiny Tim.
Hello. Oh. I bet it looks even worse from that angle.
Keep going.
Right. See?
There's a body in the boot of the car.
Right.
Who do you call for help and why? Gordon Ramsay, Kate Winslet, or Ross Kemp?
Winslet's out.
Okay.
With my back, I need a big, strong bloke to help me.
I was in a restaurant, right? And it was a lovely restaurant, right? It was nice and quiet. I'd eat about 6 p.m, so it's nice and quiet. And the waiter came over, And every time he sort of walked back and forth, he just went...
Ramsey would try and cook it. Take his shirt off. Gordon, put your shirt on.
It's not a kebab, Gordon.
Yeah. Stop drawing attention to yourself. Kids are scroungers, aren't they? I mean, from day one, it's all me, isn't it? Feed me, clothe me, pay for my chemotherapy.
Ricky, can we look at a picture of you in your pop career?
Which one's which?
I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm embarrassed by this. Everyone's going, what the fuck happened?
You're on trial in Thailand.
Never gonna happen. Right.
Who do you choose to be your defence lawyer?
Right.
And why?
Right.
Steve Carell,
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
or Stephen Merchant?
I think Steve Carell.
I think you've chosen wisely.
He owes me.
Can you do this?
No!
All right, stand next to me.
Right, okay.
Stand next to me.
Right.
Stand just right here next to me.
Yeah,
Which one's the American?
Jane thought she'd made a new friend, but it was just a shadow. Jane thinking about making new friends. Jane is looking so happy because her new friend hasn't walked away yet. But does she not know you're doing it? Does she not think, where is he? Where is he?
She sees the tweet.
I love English graveyards.
Yeah, they're great.
Does remind us.
Well, it is. That it's finite, and all the things we care about now mean fuck all. They mean nothing.
The things that people got furious with you about.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the fullness of time.
Oh, they love me when I'm dead. We talked about nothing but our balls for about 6. Is that true?
And here comes Mr. Bennell with his big balls. And here comes Mr. Gervais with his suspiciously round balls.
You know, that's why a comedian should be fat and old and ugly. Because if you're young...
Speak for yourself.
No, not you. No, not you. No, what I mean is, I've died.
Go on.
No, I've really done it.
Just found this photo of Jane when she was little. There had to be a gift. You must have given her a gift after that.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what being in a relationship for 30 years does. I mean, there's no better thing in the world. Not a car, not money, not a house. A dog, it's fucking amazing. It's 15 years of joy and then terrible sadness. Tell me your names and where you're from.
My name is Daniel, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
And why do you want this job?
I wanted this job because you're amazing,
Thank you.
and I get paid.
That's exactly why I took the job. One little girl just went to me, "Are you married?" And I said, "No, but I've been with the same girl for like 30 years. She went, "Why don't you propose to her then?" And then another little girl said, "You should get her a ring, because you ain't that special." We were outside in the graveyard. I think Bob was having a cigarette, right? And our Uncle Mick came along, and we hadn't seen Uncle Mick for like about 20 years, right? And this old man, he went, "Hello, boys." And Bob sort of looked at him and recognised him and sort of went, "Jesus," like that, right? And then Bob looked around the graveyard and said, "Is there any point you going home?" Time a journalist says that how much is a pint of milk, I'm going to say, "Here's £1,000, run and get me one." What have I got?
What have you got?
That's all I've got on me.
That'll do. Thank you. Thank you very much.
He's actually taken it. And then he came up to Bob's window again, and he had one of those sort of mirrors with a stick on it, just looking under the car like that. And as he did that, his helmet fell off. And out of the helmet fell like 20 cigarettes. And the copper just went, "Oh, just being nice." He just said to Bob, "I bet you always wonder what we kept under our helmets."
And Bob went, I knew it wasn't brains.
Someone said to me once on Twitter, without a God, you don't believe in God, then why don't you just go out and rape and murder as much as you want? And I said, I do, which is not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have a conscience. Why would I? If you're not murdering someone because you think God's watching you, you're not a good person. You're just scared of the consequences.
I don't care. No, don't worry about being dead. So you don't know about it. That's the best thing about being dead. You don't know about it. It's like being stupid. It's only painful for others. So I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Go to the pharmacist because I mean they're hugely underused within the
underrated experts. They are the experts in side effects in all medications. So unless you're really
you can't do a prostate
unwell,
exam though in boots, can you?
You do a lot though, can't you?
Last time I looked, your prostate wasn't a medicine.
There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too.
Yes, she makes bread from her yeast from a certain part of her anatomy, and she also makes rice puddings out of her own breast milk. Right?
Yeah,
both those are true stories.
True stories.
Yeah, not people I met. No,
are you sure?
It's not restaurants I go to.
We gotta celebrate and party with you. Come on, let's bring good times. Come on.
The other one is when you know there's a terrorist attack. It's good intel. It's going to happen.
Okay. My brother, his best friend, works for the CIA. And he got this information from the highest source possible that there's going to be a terrorist attack this weekend in L.A. Yeah.
If there's going to be a terrorist attack, you should leave.
Right.
But Cheryl's got this event.
Right.
We got to get out of here.
Yeah, you got to get out of here.
Actually, this weekend is a big NRDC benefit that we've been working on for months, and Alanis Morissette is going to be there. I mean, I'm thinking out loud.
Why don't we call the terrorists and ask them, could they pick another weekend that's more suited for you?
No, postpone the benefit. Let's get out of here.
I thought I'd never say this, but Larry's right.
And it absolutely sums it up, where Larry, he says the thing that's on his mind. It might not be the right thing to express, but he's totally right morally.
Well, maybe, maybe I can go.
And where are you going to go?
Could go golfing at Pebble Beach.
Why do I have to go down with her?
Yeah, why is it all the burden on you to stay to her event? Why didn't she come with you and not be killed?
Right.
Surely it'd be better to not be killed together.
She has the option of coming
She has
with
the
me.
option.
Yeah.
You've given her the option.
Yeah.
She can't see that.
If you feel good about one of us dying and the other one surviving, and you can live with that for the rest of, then you should go golf this weekend.
I'll think about it.
The one thing about that scene that I should mention that's interesting is that was completely made up on the spot. That wasn't even in the script at all.
The idea of staying back.
Yeah, that wasn't in the script at all. What happened was when Wanda leaves the house at that moment, and the two of us are left on the couch, the scene was supposed to end there, and nobody, the director didn't yell cut.
Lovely.
Again, it's the bad thought.
It's the bad thought.
That usually goes unexpressed.
Yeah. With the writing process then, presumably you storyboard the whole trajectory and individual episodes, and then how does it get from the idea to screen?
You know, I walk around with a little pad, and whenever I get an idea, I jot it down. And then I have another book where I take all the ideas and I put them in another book.
In your best handwriting?
In my best handwriting, yeah. So before I write a show, I'll just, look in the books, and then I'll think, oh, that would be funny to do with that. Oh, those two ideas really would work well together.
And so what would a typical script say?
Laura, bring me in a script.
Oh, fantastic.
Huh? I don't care. Bring me in anything. Bring me in something from, not this season. Bring me in something from season 4. And, you know, so I'll take 2 or 3 ideas and kind of put them together and build a story. Okay, so this is from the show, the carpool lane when I picked up the prostitute.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the carpool lane by myself because I don't want to. Well, that's the difference between you and me. All right, goodbye.
Hey, Daddy, you want a date with Mama?
Get in the car. Larry and Monine are zipping along in the express lane. Larry tells her he doesn't want any sex, but he'll pay her for a time. She's never been paid for a time before. And she tries to figure out how many blowjobs and other forms of sex she'd normally have within that period, which Larry, of course, disputes. So, you know, there's tracks to go on here.
Exactly. I can get 4 blowjobs an hour.
4 blowjobs in an hour?
Oh, yes, I'm good, okay?
Hey, I drove a cab. I used to drive around for 2 hours. I couldn't get a fare. You telling me you're getting 4 blowjobs in an hour?
Yes, honey, you done picked up the best. Honey, I got a red snapper that talks to you.
You know what it's saying? I'm charging way too much.
There's actually more there than I imagined, because it's like you're laying down the jokes, really. You're laying down the structure and the tram lines for the humour.
Yes.
And then do you pretty much know what you're going to get by the end of it?
You know, if you've auditioned the actors, you've seen it at the audition, so you're confident that you'll get it, and you normally do. Is any of your shows improvised?
Very little.
You see, that's what's so great about it, because it looks like it is.
You know, it's all about writing and casting, isn't it? And in your show, how do you know these people can do that? Because you're asking so much of them, aren't you?
The lesson I've learned is always audition, so you're confident that you'll get it, and you normally do. But sometimes we give out parts to a known actor.
Great seeing you.
Bye, Christine.
Bye, guys.
Why don't you come up front?
I'm okay.
Come on up front.
I'm good. I'm good.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why? What's the difference?
Larry, I'm not going to drive you around like I'm your chauffeur. Get in the fucking front seat, all right?
You're not driving me around like I'm a chauffeur with 2 minutes from the rehearsal hall.
You know, what kind of person asks another person to drive them around like this? This kind of mentality is what's...
What kind of person is so insecure that they have to make somebody move into the front seat so they don't think that they're driving somebody around?
No, the kind of person that's so insecure that needs to be driven around in the back seat, subliminally telling me that you need me to drive you around.
Leave my seat. Go into the front seat.
Because I asked you to sit in the front seat of my car, and it's my car, and it's my car. I make the rules, okay?
What is this going to be cut down to?
About an hour.
An hour? You're kidding. It's an hour?
It's a difficult question for you. I love Jewish humour, but I don't know exactly what it is. What's Jewish humour?
I really don't know. I don't know what it is. I know that there's a lot of Jews in comedy.
There's themes to Jewish humour that you could probably cite. Neuroses.
Don't you see the rest of the country looks upon New York like we're left-wing communist, Jewish, homosexual pornographers? I think of us that way sometimes, and I live here.
There's a lot of complaining, I guess. Being dealt a bad hand. It's tevya, isn't it? The weight of the world on your shoulders.
Fantastic,
complaining. Yeah. I think it's a lot of that.
And my parents really didn't like me. They told me I was Jewish on Christmas morning, and they just... Wake up, you're Jewish! Empty stocking. But,
There's also a certain rhythm, I think, to the way that Jews talk that might be funny.
Every Jewish woman wants to think she looks Hawaiian. Don't I look Hawaiian? People say I look French. I think I look Dutch. Do I look Spanish? You look Jewish, you dreck yente, that's what you
Well, Yiddish is funny already.
Yeah,
I wanted to learn Yiddish because the words...
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a great language.
Yeah.
There's like a jazz to it.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you listen to Lenny Bruce's albums, there's a jazz to the way he talks.
I grew up loving the Marx Brothers. I noticed you've got a picture of Groucho, and there's such an amazing quote. He said when he was 80 years old, he said, "I'm going to Iowa for an award, then I'm appearing at Carnegie Hall. It's sold out, and then I fly to France to be honoured by the French president. I'd give it all up for one erection." Not great. 80 years old.
Yeah, the culture of Jews being funny comes out of the I guess some kind of oppression, because oppression would lead to humor, would it not? When you're in a terrible situation, the only thing you could do is be funny.
Excuse me. Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish?
You want to check my penis?
Okay.
Huh? Is that what you want to do?
My real question is,
Yeah,
what were
is
you
your real
whistling?
question?
Yeah, what were you whistling?
Hello, Dolly?
No, it was Wagner.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
You,
it's a
sir,
major
won $100.
I want to know what a Jew is whistling Wagner
Do you
for
want to
when
know?
he was one of the great anti-Semites of the world. You know what you are?
What am I?
You're a self-loathing Jew.
Am I?
Oh,
Well,
yes,
let me tell you something.
yes.
I do hate myself,
You, yeah.
but it has nothing to do with being Jewish. Okay.
Out there, well done, Winslet. I told you, do a Holocaust movie. The awards come, didn't I? See? Trouble is with Holocaust films, there's never any gag reel on the DVDs. I don't know, there isn't. It's, now, don't do it. It'll be fine. Don't. But you all look lovely, all dolled up. You came here in your limos. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no. Shush.
How are you? Nice to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Yeah.
Nice new studio.
This is new. This is a new experience, yes.
Yeah, it's great to...
Giant moon, big fake moon behind you.
Actually, the studio was easier to find than the channel on the TV. All female remakes are the big thing. There's a female remake of Ghostbusters. There's going to be a female remake of Ocean's 11. And this is brilliant for the studios because they get guaranteed box office results and they don't have to spend too much money on the cast. So... Shut up, I don't care. You're so macho, aren't you?
I know, it's a
You're so
handshake.
tough. I'm glad you got your shirt on. You always have to show a bit of that, don't you?
No.
It's for the menopausal women. And go, oh, look, he's taking his shirt. You walked to the restaurant the other week carrying a stag. Who do you think you are? 4.
Hold on.
You're one of about 5 people that have been invited round my house. I'm a very sort of private person, apart from, like, you know, workman and postman.
Make me feel special.
Yeah.
That Alan Carr, a postman round here? Refuse collector?
Yeah, well, at least they're useful.
I can't believe this. You had a birthday, and is it 50 years old? You're not 50 years old. Are you really 50 years old?
50, yeah.
I mean, you look tremendous. You look like you're 35. If somebody had said to me, how old? I said 35. 35, honestly. You look exactly like you did the first time, except you're in better shape. Remember you used to come out, you're sort of pear-shaped when you come out? Now you look great. You
didn't
good.
say that at the time, though, did you?
No, I didn't know I didn't know what to think.
Well, no. You said, oh, you look good now because I looked awful before. That's all you're saying. I needed you to say it before. You're pear-shaped. I'd have worked out faster. And now...
But how do you feel at 50? Good, right?
Well, yeah. I'm grumpier. I think I'm grumpier.
Grumpier?
Yeah. I understand you a lot more now. Do you know what I mean? No. I never knew you were this weird.
Really?
No, because you kept it... We worked together for a couple of days. And
I know.
You're absolutely mental.
In a nice way? Yeah.
But so... Stop all the signs say, chill, bro. Sorry. Yeah, you're not giving them. You know, they come out, they park their cars, they've got babysitters, they haven't paid. Why would you? That'd be mental. But if I was you, I'd be going, thank you so much to these people and giving them. You know what I mean?
A new series of extras starts this week. Congratulations on getting a second series, essentially, but also
Congratulations on already fucking it up. It's next week, you moron. It was shoddy. It was, I mean, you know, you didn't write it, and that's... But do it like it's your... Do it like you were clever enough to come up with this joke yourself, okay?
Because I would love to try stand-up. I'd love to do stand-up.
I think you'd be good. I think you'd be good.
You say that, but when I try and write a joke, I get the opening bit. I say, that's a funny idea. Madonna's got divorced. And then I think, yeah.
Where's my writers?
You know, I don't know.
And I went out and said, I've got no Will Smith material, and they got a big laugh just because they were thinking it.
Right.
Yeah, it's my show. I wasn't there, right? And I said, people on Twitter, it was trending, people saying, oh, what would have happened if Ricky had been hosting it? And I said, nothing, because I wouldn't have made a joke about his wife's hair. I'd have made a joke about her boyfriend.
Everybody, you went to the Achilles heel of everybody. Like, when you tell a woman who's, you know, that it's, you know, she looks old, that just hits a woman deep in the...
Who did I say that to?
I think you said something about the Sex and the City women, like, about...
I said it was airbrushed, and I said, we know how old you are, girls. I saw one of you in an episode of Bonanza.
Yeah,
No, I was saying, why lie? There's nothing wrong with being 50 or looking 50.
But you're not a woman. I get you.
But I don't think you lose your sensuality at 50.
Wasn't ready, didn't look for something new. Was out with my friends the night that I met you. You looked so handsome, thought you were someone's boo. That was until you showed me that you wanted me to.
Snow. I love Star Trek. Oh, such a nerd.
Have you never been in a Star Trek?
No, I've never been in a Star Trek, but I love the original series. So I have, like, I have the Gorn head from the original series from the episode Arena, where
I know. I'm just nodding.
Oh, the Gorn head.
The Gorn head.
Okay. I have. What the Gorn head?
Every time you're on the program, I try to do this, and it always comes out very clumsy. Let me try it one more time. Possibly the best television show ever. What do you think?
Possibly. What do you mean?
What have you named your private parts?
Pamela. Comfy. It's a difficult one with a hero, isn't it? Because I think a hero should be someone who saved your life, or a relative, or someone who donated their kidney. If it's someone you've admired for a long time and made you think, maybe even changed your life, I'd say it was David Bowie. The Office sort of broke in England. You get invited to all these things. Do you want it? No. Do you want no? Do you want no? None of those. Or we're having a talent night at the BBC. No. I turned everything down, okay? And then one came through, VIP audience with David Bowie. Now, Bowie has been my hero for about 30 years. So I went, yeah, all right. So we went along, me and my girlfriend. It was amazing. Went the green room afterwards. There's various people there. And Greg Dyke, then head of BBC, comes over and goes, "You're a fan, aren't you?" I went, "Oh, I love Bowie." He went, "Come and meet him." I went, No. He went, "No, come and meet him." I went, "Oh." We're walking to see Bowie. He goes, Salman Rushdie joins us. So there's me, Greg Dyke, my girlfriend, Salman Rushdie. We go down and meet David Bowie. Mental, okay? Next day I'm in the pub with my mate Johnny, and he goes, "What'd you do last night?" And I went, "Nothing." "Oh, what would I say?" "I was hanging out with David Bowie and Salman Rushdie. What did you do?" So I didn't say anything.
What made me want to do a British sitcom? Well, as you probably know, my background's in serious acting before I started doing the writing, singing thing, and so something like doing the extras is a piece of cake for me, really. And it was fun working with Rick, showing him pointers, maybe new ways of approaching comedy that he hadn't really thought about before, I think.
And he knew I was then. I think someone told him afterwards, and they gave him a DVD of The Office, and I got an email out of the blue from him. He's like the FBI. He just got my email. I think he's like plugged in to the World Wide Web, and he just put, "I watched, I laughed, what do I do now?"
And we became sort of pen pals.
When we came up with the idea of doing a song, he said he would do the lyrics with Stephen. And I said, that would be great, I'd love that to happen. And I'd do the melody. If you keep looking like that, your face will stay like it. That's really quite a zinger, isn't it? And that kind of thing, you see. So, you know, I've been writing jokes for him. And he assures me they'll be in the future episodes. So it's been very fulfilling, this whole experience.
I was on tour in the United States back in '89, and we did a show in Cincinnati. During that show, I shouted out, "It's great to be in Cincinnati." That was a lie.
So I also like the fact that they're aware of their legend. I quite like that. Right. That they know the press's perception of that they play with, and they want to let you know that they're above that. Right. You know, that's nice.
You'd think that being a famous rock star, married to a supermodel, would be one of the greatest things in the world. It is.
We went to his apartment, and we went in, and the doorman there went, "Oh, you're here to see Mr. Jones?" And I went, "Oh, yeah, of course I'm here to see Mr. Jones. David Bowie doesn't really exist."
Right.
You know.
He was Davy Jones.
Yeah, we went upstairs, and it was just made a coffee. He just had it was after his little heart incident.
Yeah.
And he came round with 2 cups of coffee, pretending to be shaky and old.
Yeah.
And I thought, he's fucking having a laugh. He's mucking around. This is David Bowie. This is my hero. And the apartment is as you would imagine, like something from a magazine.
Yep.
And there was this amazing, huge statue, this work of art, like a pewter thing. I went, "That's amazing." I said, "Who's that?" He went, "Oh yeah, the artist there was trying to do, you know what Picasso did with 2D? He made it sort of 3D. He tried to flip it and make the statue that was 3D, 2D. Anyway, my daughter likes to hit that with a hammer." And I remember I sent them an email for his, I think, 57th or 58th birthday, and I put, "Happy birthday," and I put 58. Isn't it time you got a proper job? Ricky Gervais, 42, comedian. He sent back, "I have a proper job. David Bowie, rock god." Good, that, isn't it? And I think I should talk about him as a hero before I knew him, because that obviously, for the last 10 years of my life, we were sort of friends. Which never really confused the issue, because I sort of knew him as a friend, and he was brilliant. And I had to remember, oh, that's my hero, he's a genius. But we hardly talked about his music, he wanted to talk about other things.
What would I want my son to know about his granddad? And I think it would be the same thing that most of my dad's fans have taken over the last 50 years, that he's always been there supporting, a little bit different, and he's always been there for them. So, this award is for all the kooks and all the people who make the kooks.
He sort of put my life in colour in many ways. A working class teenager in a council house in a rough estate in Reading, and I'm eating my beans on toast, and I see heroes. I think it was on the TV show Mark Bolan show, and I thought, of course, you can do anything. There's a little thing going on in a country called Iraq, which is not my favourite war. My favourite war is... oh, so many. They're good for different reasons. Falklands. That's probably the Falklands, because we won that one. And... it was great. It was against Argentina. Yeah, weird. We're going to war with Argentina. All right, okay, fair enough. Yeah. But The reason it's my favourite war is that it was a range war. And what that means is the Argentine guns could fire 9 kilometres. The British guns could fire 17 kilometres. So we just parked our ships 10 kilometres away, and theirs were falling into the sea, and we were shelling the shit out of them. It's the war equivalent of holding a midget at arm's length. And he's flailing, and you're just kicking him in the bollocks like that. Vietnam, best soundtrack. Second World War, best ending. That had to be the end. That was a great finale. You couldn't follow that, could you? People are worried about that. They go, oh, atomic energy. Oh, it's bad. The effects are still being felt today. But, oh, it ended a war. And that's good. And it was discovered by Einstein. And he's a genius. And in his 1903 paper, he said that light could be described as discrete bundles of energies that when irradiated onto an unstable... What maniac thinks like that? Really? I'm not a doctor, but I think that's what turned Stephen Hawking's mad, too much thinking. Do you know what I mean? The universe is expanding. Of course it is, Stephen. Yeah, of course it is, yeah. Jeez. Take a day off, go for a walk. Not a walk, but I mean, just, no. Open a window. Watch a bit of TV. Robot Wars is on. You love that, don't you? Greatest mind on the planet. People say, oh, we shouldn't have a go at Stephen Hawking. Oh, he's a genius. He's not a genius. He's pretentious. Born in Oxford and talks with that fake American accent. He is actually a hero of mine. Not my greatest hero. My greatest hero is Nelson Mandela. What a man, isn't he? He's an incredible man. Incarcerated for 25 years. He was released in 1990. He's been out about 18 years now. And he hasn't reoffended. I think he's going straight. Which shows you prison does work. I learnt a lot last year about one of your great American heroes, Rosa Parks. It was the 200-year celebration of the abolition of slavery in Britain last year. We were a bit ahead of you on that. But well done. Well done. But the abolition of slavery wasn't the end of racism. Racism was still inherent in society as late as the 50s and 60s in England and America. And it was this one incident that sparked off the civil rights movement. A young black woman called Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white person on a bus. It was the law, but she'd had enough. And she was arrested for that. But then that law was changed. But she didn't stop there. She started sitting in those seats meant for disabled people. She talked to the driver when the bus was in motion. Did she have the correct change ready? Did she, bollocks? Oh, some people. Cheers.
Hello, mình xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình trong buổi sáng ngày hôm nay. Xin cảm ơn các bạn đã có sự quan tâm và theo dõi. Trong video lần này, mình cũng muốn khoe với các bạn một cái sản phẩm trang trí đèn LED mà các bạn vẫn hay dùng ở phòng khách của gia đình, cũng như là những cái quán hát rất chi là thẩm mỹ và rất chi là đẹp mà lại không tốn diện tích, rất chi là hậu quả. Như các bạn quan sát trong video mà cái sản phẩm mình đang cầm đây. Đấy, trên cùng đó chính là một quả cầu. Đấy, các bạn được xoay tròn mỗi khi các bạn cắm điện vào đã được xoay tròn. Đấy, và đã sẽ chia được rất những cái nhiều ô rích rắc, mà trong mỗi một cái ô rích rắc là một chiếc ngọc trai rất chi là có giá. Đấy. Cái thì màu trắng như các bạn quan sát trong video, cái thì màu đỏ đây, đấy các bạn, rất chi là có ấn tượng và thẩm mỹ của một chiếc cầu. Trên nóc của chiếc cầu đỉnh này cũng đã được xoáy được bằng những con ốc inox rất chi là chắc chắn, làm tạo thành một cái trụ để cho những quả cầu này quay rất chi là đẹp và rất chi là hấp dẫn, được thiết kế thẳng từ trên nóc quả cầu cho đến xuống dưới đáy quả cầu, tạo thành một cái trục giữa. Đấy, có phải không? Đấy, quay rất chi là tiện. Quả cầu này nhà thiết kế cũng làm cho chúng ta như chúng ta nhìn trong video, được ngồi trên một cái chiếc đài sen mạ vàng, nhìn rất chi là đẹp. Chiếc đài sen đã được tạo thành những làn sóng. Đấy, có phải như các bạn quan sát trong video, rất chi là có sự điêu luyện. Đấy, và hình phễu xuống dưới chân quả cầu, đấy là một hình phễu, trên là một cái đài sen rất chi là đẹp. Đến vòng thứ hai như các bạn quan sát, nó là từng những chiếc lỗ đèn led, như các bạn đếm của mình thôi, chắc là nhiều lắm, không thể đếm được. Đấy, mình để nhưng mà tầng thứ hai cũng đã được làm bằng những cái lỗ thoát của những cái đèn led để dọi vào những cái lá sen này, những cái đài sen này, và sẽ tỏa ra được những cái tia sáng mỗi khi các bạn cắm điện vào, rất chi là đẹp về cái đèn led ở dưới. Và đến tầng đế như các bạn quan sát, làm rất chi là quy mô và rất chi là đều đặn từ nhà thiết kế, từ 1 đến 2 đến 3 đến 4 đến 5, nhiều lắm. Đấy, đếm thành một hàng, tạo trưng như những viên ngọc vàng, đấy, để xếp trưng bày cũng như quảng cáo ở trên những cái viên đế này, nhìn rất chi là thẩm mỹ. Đây, như các bạn mình cũng đã quay cho các bạn xem, tất cả là 4 xung quanh nhìn rất chi là đẹp trên một chiếc đế này. Đấy. Và hết cái đế thứ 1 này và đến đế thứ 2 như các bạn quan sát trong video, đó chính là một hàng đèn led. Đấy, có phải không? Một hàng đèn led đã được thiết kế ngập chìm với bên trong của cái chiếc đế lồng đèn này, cho nên là không sợ vỡ, không sợ lỏng, rất chi là đẹp. Đây, như các bạn quan sát ở trong video, có phải không ạ?